Hello everyone, today a new video on the WPT Prime Championship final table. We are going to see some key hands and some key moments of this final table. We are going to see which moment was really impactful for the tournament. I'm Lona Poker Pro for tournaments, and we are going to analyze some key hands on this 1.1 million for first tournament. Let's go into it. And the first hand that we are going to analyze here is this hand. The first hand played with Tim Burden. Burden has a really decision here. Decides to open, which is quite non-standard here and not supposed to open that wide. Behind him, there's one player that covers him in Johnson. Umarova has a small size, so a small, stack, so she's not going to be able to rejam wide, but she decides to go all in here. I really like this option. She's really far from the other stack, so she needs to take some risk. And it's why also that you shouldn't open that wide. But the main reason why he shouldn't have opened this wide here is because Johnson covers him, so he can defend a lot in the big blind. And also, if anyone sees that he opens that wide, then he will be punished with other confrontations. So he really needs to be um, worried about this. Here we're going to see the second hand. Here Liu decides to open. He is in. Yeah, he has the chip lead, so it's okay to open that wide. I think Umarova will go all in. I think most of the time here. She has like 13 big blinds. Because the big blind is 2 million, so she has like 13 big blinds, 14 big blinds maximum. She decides to go all in directly, which is the best option here. And Liu should fold most of the time here. There's no many other decisions here. It's too many blinds. And also, it's not a good thing to make the opponent double up here, the short stack, because afterwards he's going to be have more problems putting pressure on the other opponents. So here you should fold a lot here, and this is what he decides to do. But I really like the fact that he decided to open quite wide. He can put a lot of pressure on the opponents, and this is what he does here. It's really good. Another hand that we are going to see, Johnson decides to open here with Queen, pocket queens, which is completely standard. It's the best way to go with it. Liu has a small decision. He could go for 3-bet, could go for call. Yeah, it's a bit more standard here to call, so I really like his option. Now there's a bit of a flop, a drama flop maybe. Liu has the 10 will give him nuts, and Johnson has touch trips. Here, normally you should c-bet quite a big sizing, because you're not supposed to c-bet a lot against the chip leader. So I would have liked to go for bigger sizing here, but everything should be okay. Now on the turn with the double of the jacks, now Johnson has a hand that is like untouchable. Liu could have decided to donk a bit because there's no many jack X on the opponent's range. And then Johnson here decides to do big sizing. Normally Liu will always fold here. There's not many decisions here. I don't know if he's a two calling station. Yeah, if he calls here is way too many calling station. You can see the opponent really decided to go for an exploit sizing. Here to go for 40% pot, I think it's really not standard and really not GTO approved or game theory approved. Normally you should go for a really big sizing against the chip leader because you don't want to value thin against him. So yeah, really a tough decision already. Normally Liu should fold all the time. And we really see that Johnson, maybe like the pro player here, he decides to milk Liu, so he decides to go for a lot of value. And now he's trying to make like a face like he has a tough decision. He has an easy call. It's really what he was hoping for also, to do the small sizing. He really tried to induce his opponent, which is really good here. That's why I really think his play is really well played from Johnson's side. And we will see if Liu falls into the trap on the river. Wow, this river really changes a lot. Sometimes he can be beat, Johnson. Wow, he decides to go all in. Wow. Really a tough spot. So now, what can the opponent have? Yeah, he can have a lot of king X's. It's really difficult. One of the worst river cards. Now I think Johnson almost has to fold here. It's really, really not easy, not an easy play. And it's really props from to Liu to take the bet here. And now he decides to snap call Johnson. Wow, he decides to call really fast. Um, Interesting here. You suppose that the opponent didn't have many King X. Yeah, because King X does fold. It's really interesting to see that he snapped called. And that's also why you see like Liu completely missed his bluff. It's to bet on the yeah. Yeah, strange to snap call. It's really interesting to snap call here. Maybe he thought his opponent could value cut sometimes with Jack X's. Well, sorry, Jack X's. So it's really interesting. Tell me in the comments if you would have done the same in his shoes. I really think I would have second guessed here on the river. It's not easy to find the call. Now we have a massive spot here between those two players. Um, it's at 1951 normally, the start of the hand. That's a bit earlier. Oh, here we have a raise from Liu. Okay, in the dealer, he really decides to raise a ton. Burden should go for a 3-bet most of the time here. Could go for a call also some of the time, but the 3-bet is way more standard here. If you know that the opponent is raising a ton. Now he can go for a C-bet on King X bar, which is really good. Call from Burden decides to call quite fast, so it doesn't say that his range is that strong. On the turn, we'll see which what they decide to go. They also always go for really small sizing here, 9 into 25. They really like small sizing here in this final table. With this small sizing, maybe Burden has to call again once, but I really don't like in general what he decided to do pre-flop. I think his hand is better considered as a 3-bet than a defense. And then on the river, we will see if Liu decides to bluff or not. Wow. Yeah, Liu really seems to be really aggressive on those spots. He really three barrels a lot. So against those players, you're really supposed to stay a bit high in your range and really like not always I would say to float too much because they are really going to put you in a really tough position by multi-barreling. So be aware against those players, against players that have this profile. You shouldn't float that much. You should slow play with your nuts. You should not float that much, and you should definitely avoid those things. Here we have a punt from Liu. You should never go all in here with this hand. He has way too many blinds to go all in here. So you really see a really aggressive player, but I would say beginner player here. He really doesn't understand which hand is going to have the best risk reward to go all in here. Yeah, we are going to see other hands, but here we can really see that this opponent seems to be um, like a really amateur. We have a really tough decision here. Johnson seems to be really good here. So pre-flop, Burden maybe decides to go for small c-bet. No, Fox decides to small c-bet here. Fall from Johnson, and here from the other opponent, and Johnson here decides to go for a call, which I really like. I think this is the best option here to call. Yeah, no, I don't really like here that he decided to raise. Maybe he thought that his opponent will call that much, but I think it's way better to just call and slow play this hand because he almost doesn't accomplish that much. There's not so many hands that will float in his opponent's range. His hand is like almost untouchable. So I would have preferred for him to go for a call here. I think in the long run it will make more money. And maybe this is one of the key hands that where he could have won way more. We are going to see other hands here. This one is really crazy, and I think it's the last one that we will see today. One of the craziest hand that they played. We have a raise from Liu. Now there are only 4 players left. There's Umarova that is really has a small stack. So you should be super aware of not busting here. And you have a lot of ICM pressure. So it means that you shouldn't take too many risks at this moment, because Umarova is going to with her 3 big blinds stack, she's going to bust a lot of the time. So here in Liu's shoes, you could call, you could yeah, it's better either to call or either to fold almost. No, call I think is the best option. There's no 3 bet, so the best option is to call. He decides to go for big raise. And I think here, if he 3 bets or he 4 bets, it will be an easy fold normally. We will see what he decides to do, but I think we will see a big punt here from his side. Here, normally Martins should go all in. Yeah, he decides to 5 bets all in, and wow, yeah, a snap call from Liu. Huge mistakes from him, huge mistakes here. Maybe this mistake cost maybe 200k, 300k dollars, which is a huge mistake here. And this hand will decide the fate of the tournament. You should never call 5 bet all in here in this this position with ace queen off. This massive error on his side. Maybe he doesn't care about the money this much. But yeah, normally, yeah, now he's almost crushed, and he made a huge error, and he was not lucky enough to make it through this time. Now he can split sometimes, but you can never win. Yeah, we are going to see the elimination of this player. Those are the key hands of the tournament. So if you like the video, please subscribe, share, and post a like. Also, if you have some comments, don't hesitate. I help also people to improve. I do it mainly on my French channel, but I start to doing now also on the English channel. So if you are making between maybe 10k to 30k a year with your poker in profits, and you want to go to the next step, then please click the link in the description and fill up the form, and I will see if I can help you to be a better poker player. See you around. Bye bye.